What's up, everybody? It's Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. I got some important information. You've probably seen it in the news. It comes from a company called Santander Consumer USA or Santander Auto Financing. They have several different names, but they're mostly known for auto financing. And it says it's a Spanish company and their lender, and they have recently settled a federal lawsuit because of the way that they were doing predatory auto loans. Now, I'm going to walk you through something, and I want to see if you catch it because I'm going to tell you some reasons why they did this. Because you may be wondering, why would a company give people loans that they cannot pay, that they knew they couldn't pay? You see right here, they reached a $550 million agreement to settle charges from 34 attorneys generals that it made auto loans it knew low income and subprime borrowers could not pay. Why would a company loan money to people when they couldn't pay it? I'm going to tell you the reasons why behind that, and it's going to blow your mind. Yes, there's a guy that pops up on my YouTube channel a lot, and he talks about the lending institutions, and he's told us all about it, and I knew about it. But this is going to be the video that he loves, that he loves to hear. So let's just move forward and just let's go through what they're going to be paying for or getting fined for what they've agreed in the settlement. The lender is going to pay $65 million in restitution. The restitution is going to go, this would be potential money in your pocket if you had a Santander loan. And the dates of those loans are from 2010 to 2019. This could be money back, but there's millions of customers that they had, so don't expect to get much from this, from that 65 million restitution. And then the bulk of the settlement, 478 million, comes from loan forgiveness. Now, this is a big deal because what they're going to do is they're going to forgive any loans that they've had out there from clients that maybe it was repossessed, maybe you have a balance deficiency or something. That's what this whole next section is about. So they're going to do loan forgiveness in the form of loan forgiveness for what they have out there, and then they're going to waive 45 million in loan balances for consumers who had defaulted as of December 31st, but whose cars were not repossessed. So that's a big deal. If you have a car and you had defaulted before December 31st, it was not repossessed, they're going to be sending you the title on that car, and you're not going to have to worry about paying on that car. Now, there's always going to be some catches in there, but we're just going to go with what they're stating here in the lawsuit. And the next part here, Santander will also waive at least 433 million in deficiency balances. This is where they've repossessed the cars from people, and they're trying to come after you. They've got debt collectors coming after you for the deficiency balance on those cars. They're gonna waive those fees. Now, let's go down a little bit here. Uh, today's or Tuesday's agreement caps a probe that the states launched back in 2015, but the Spanish bank's subsidiary have been unwittingly unwinding issues in its auto lending practices for years. The Federal Reserve issued an enforcement order in 2017 requiring Santander Consumer to improve its risk management practices. That same year, it agreed to pay $25 million to resolve investigations in Massachusetts and Delaware over subprime auto loans. Santander also agreed in 2018 to settle charges in California about reoccurring fees. I've had videos about Santander where it was just crazy on how they would come after people for these loans, and that they had uh, put fake uh, figures. And I mean, it basically what it was just a way for car dealers to get rid of used cars at a higher rate with a company that would just give them the money. And from some of my car dealer friends, what they would do with these car loans is that the customer had to come up with some money, and the dealer had to hold back on some of their money that they were going to get. And Santander was like filling in the gaps, making the deal be able to go through. And but uh, these were really like disaster loans. Like whenever we got credit reports from people, we would see that when they had Santander on there, it was just like gonna be a disaster with what they were going to be going through, because they would sell these to debt collection companies, or some of the times they would keep them themselves, because they did have a department where they would go after people before they would, if the loan if it had just went out so far, then they would sell them off. But most of them, they were actually very aggressive at going after people to get the money. So now, but that's the good part. So we know right now that that's the good part about what's going on. Let's look at here. Uh, some participation with the auto loan applications is Santander also rarely verified applicants' housing costs and didn't have measures in place to identify falsified figures. And this is part of it where the car dealers were kind of participating in this, because they wanted to uh, get the get this stuff uh, financed. They wanted to sell cars. That's what they wanted to do. Uh, Santander, let's see here, just so I make sure. We'll pay up to 45. There was another part on here that I wanted to make sure we saw. Oh yeah, we have 45 million for the loan balances to consumers who were in default. So basically, if you have a Santander loan, and if it was during the dates that they have during this period of time, they're gonna fully clean it off your credit reports. They're gonna get rid of the deficiency balances. You may get some cash back, possibly, but uh, I think that you would be happy if you can get the deficiency balances taken away. If you had a garnishment that you're paying from a debt collector that was from a Santander loan, I think that you would be happy to have that wiped away, and you could potentially get all of that money back. You should be able to get all of that money back with this court case. You could contact the debt collection company and tell them that you've become aware of what happened with this case, and that you would like to have all of the money given back to you if they were garnishing your wages because of a deficiency balance when the car was repossessed. You will be able to get that money back. Now, something that I'm not 100% sure of if they're going to do this, because I know that these are the ways that these companies will try to get write-offs, but they may send 1099-C debt cancellations to the IRS, and I'm hoping that they don't do that. But if they do that, be prepared to make sure you get with a tax professional to see how you can go about getting that waived, because this, number one, this would be considered like a personal injury to you, so they should not even be able to send that as a 1099-C. But you never know if that could happen. Also, if you were paying a debt collection company that had purchased the auto debt deficiency from Santander, which did happen in some cases, and you were paying that debt collector, and now they have to forgive that debt, or they have a debt that they've been coming after you for, and they've already paid, and they maybe can't get their money back from Santander, and you want and they want to file a 1099 see debt cancellation against you, you need to be prepared, and you need to make sure that they're notified that they cannot do that, because this would be considered as a personal injury to you. This is like getting money because you have an injury and you have court cases and records to be able to back that up. Now, for you that maybe been going to my website, our website is down. Today is May 26, 2020. So for you that are watching this video later, website might be back up. It is 100% not on us. What I do hosting with GoDaddy, and they're having some type of problem, and it's been going on 3 days now, and I'm just as frustrated as everyone else, because it stops us from being able to, number one, sign up as customers that go to our website. We've been having to do everything over the phone right now. So I know, and if you're frustrated, even going there to get free information with my blog, or if you're in one of my membership programs, it's like having your store closed. I guess like a store closing with the pandemic that's going on, this is like having your store closed with your website. Now, let's get into why Santander would even do this, because they're saying that they're giving loans to people that could not afford to pay them back. Well, and this goes back to the guy that always talks about how when the Federal Reserve, when someone takes out a loan, what the banks do is they take your name, your social security number, go to the Federal Reserve, and they actually take out a loan in our names. And this is exactly what they do, because if it was their money and they were losing money, why would it matter? It wouldn't even matter to anyone, because that would be their fault for losing money if they were making millions of dollars or billions of dollars worth of loans. So now let me tell you that what they're doing is they're pimping everyone with this so-called settlement agreement. I'm looking at the financials for just one, I think this is, for 1 year. 1 year, 2018, for Santander, they did over $28 billion in loans originations. So now let me tell you what that is that means that they took or people's names. I won't say mine, because I've never had a loan from them, but they took people's names for whatever products and services that they're doing. Obviously, they're in the subprime area, and low income is like where they make their biggest money. But so they take those names, go get the money from the Federal Reserve, and they make money on the interest. So looking at their financial statement here, 2018, total auto origination loans, $28.8 billion, up 43%. So they actually did more loans from the previous year of 2017. And then the net finance and other interest income from doing that was $4.5 billion. $4.5 billion. So this is just chump change. This is nothing. This is just people signing on to some big numbers, making it look good. If you broke that up into the millions of people that they've made auto loans to, this is not even going to take care of not even a quarter of them. What they're hoping is that most of you, if you had a Santander loan, won't even find out about what's going on with this. So they make $4.5 billion. They pay out $550 million on one agreement. They forgive $478 in loan forgiveness. So they barely probably reached $1 billion. And the big part of it is that they've made $4.5 billion from taking money from the Federal Reserve, not even from their own funds. So this is why any company, predatory lender will even make these types of loans, is because they're not using their own money. They're not using their own money. they're using our money to make interest on our money, and then if the loans go bad, they go bad. All they're doing is they're just trying to service the loans to try to get as many of them back in. And that's why if you look here, that to prove my point, right here, where is it? The Federal Reserve issued an enforcement order in 2017 requiring Santander to improve its risk management practices. Why would the Federal Reserve care at all about that if they were not giving them the money to do what they did with the money? So that's why. And so they're making money off of getting money from the Federal Reserve. It is not their money. There is no risk to Santander. They're just out there making money, making money on the interest from money that they took from the Federal Reserve in our name. They have absolutely no risk. We see that they made $4.5 billion from doing it, and they don't really care. It just came down to it to where we just have to go ahead and just settle this. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's losing anything. They're not. I mean, they're coming out of 500 and something $1 million they made, so they get to keep the other $4 billion. They're gonna forgive some loans on people. Probably 50 to 75% of the people won't even know what to do on this. And when it's all said and done, they'll just be business as usual. So to review, what they're gonna do is they're gonna wipe off any bad credit history you got with Santander. Has to come off your credit reports. Any deficiency balances are forgiven. You may have some money coming back from the $65 million restitution. Any late payments, any stuff like that, they're going to just be giving you the title of your vehicle as long as it was before, where is the date here? As long as it was before, where we got, you're going to get the title as long as it was before, it's December 31st, 2019. December 31st of defaulted for December 31st. And your car was not repossessed. You're going to get a car. You'll keep your car. Get all of your credit stuff wiped off of there. You may have to have a company like mine make sure that they do it in a timely manner. So they'll wipe all the history away. If you've made your payments and then you went into default before that, and you had that good history on there before it, and then you went into default, when they take the good history, your credit score will go down. So just understand that. So, good news, bottom line, it is good news. Bottom line, it is good news for the consumer. But it will be business as usual. They'll end up doing something again in the future. And hopefully everybody will keep their eyes on them. If you need help with your credit, please visit our website, thecreditrepairshop.com. It should be up within the next day or so. If you need your credit reports and scores, please visit the3scores.com. Please subscribe to my channel here. Please comment, share, ask your questions. And until next time, this is Stephen Williams, founder and president of thecreditrepairshop.com. Thank you.